Single dad stops to fix millionaire CEO's car, only to discover she's his first love from years ago. Sometimes, life gives us a moment so small it feels ordinary. A broken car on the side of the road. A man with grease on his hands. A woman waiting, frustrated and alone. But hidden inside that moment is the power to change two lives forever. This is a story about kindness given with no expectations, and how it can bring the past crashing back in the most unexpected, beautiful way. Before we begin, take a second to support stories like this. Subscribe to the channel, Heartfelt Moments, tap the like button, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us keep spreading stories that remind us what really matters. It was a chilly Tuesday morning in Ohio when Daniel Harper pulled his old pickup truck onto the shoulder of the road. He was on his way to drop his 8-year-old son, Ethan, at school before heading to his job at a local hardware store. Money was always tight, mornings were always rushed, and life felt like one long to-do list. That's when Daniel noticed the sleek black luxury car stopped ahead, hazard lights blinking. A woman stood beside it, phone in hand, clearly stressed. Most people drove past without slowing down. Daniel almost did too. He was already running late. But then he thought of the lessons he tried to teach Ethan. If you can help someone, you should. So he parked, told Ethan to wait in the truck, and walked over. Car trouble? Daniel asked gently. The woman looked up, startled. She was in her early 30s, dressed in a sharp business suit, heels sinking slightly into the gravel. Her expression softened with relief. Yes, she sighed. It just died. I've called roadside assistance, but they say it could take over an hour. Daniel popped the hood and took a quick look. Years ago, before life took its turns, he'd worked as a mechanic. His hands still remembered what to do. It's your battery cable, he said. Loose connection. I can fix it in a few minutes. Her eyes widened. Really? That would be amazing. As Daniel worked, she thanked him over and over. He brushed it off. No problem. Just doing what anyone should. When he straightened up and wiped his hands, she smiled fully for the first time. And in that moment, something clicked. Daniel froze. That smile. Those eyes. His heart skipped. Emily, he said quietly. Her face drained of color. Daniel, she whispered. For a second, the world felt like it stopped. Emily Carter. The girl he'd loved in college. The one he thought he'd marry. The woman who left town chasing big dreams while he stayed behind to take care of his sick father. Life had pulled them in different directions, and they hadn't spoken in over 10 years. I can't believe it, Emily said, her voice shaking. I didn't even recognize you at first. Daniel laughed softly. Guess time does that. They talked for a few minutes, awkward at first, then easier. Emily explained she was in town for meetings. She was now the CEO of a major tech company, worth millions. Daniel nodded, impressed but not surprised. She had always been brilliant. When the car started smoothly, Emily let out a relieved laugh. Thank you, she said. Not just for the car. For stopping. Daniel shrugged. Anyone would've. But she looked at him closely. Not everyone does. Before leaving, she asked, Can I buy you coffee sometime? Just to talk? Daniel hesitated. His life was simple now. Work, parenting, survival. Emily's world felt far away. But then Ethan waved from the truck. I have a son, Daniel said. Emily's eyes lit up. I'd love to meet him. They met for coffee that weekend. Then lunch. Then dinners. Emily met Ethan and instantly connected with him, listening to his stories and cheering at his soccer games. She never acted superior, never flaunted her success. With Daniel, she was just Emily again. One evening, as they walked through a park, Emily finally asked, Why didn't you ever call me back all those years ago? Daniel took a deep breath. My dad got sick. I couldn't leave. I didn't want to hold you back. Tears filled her eyes. I wish you'd told me. I thought you didn't care. They stood there, realizing how much life had been shaped by silence. Months passed. One day, Emily surprised Daniel with an offer. She wanted to fund a scholarship in his father's name. She also quietly paid off some of Daniel's debts without making a big deal out of it. Why are you doing all this? Daniel asked. Emily smiled. Because you stopped for me. When you didn't have to. That kindness reminded me of who you always were. Their relationship grew slowly, honestly. Emily didn't rescue Daniel. She respected him. And Daniel didn't resent her success. He admired her. 1 year after that broken-down car, Daniel stood beside Emily at a small community fundraiser. She took the microphone and said, "Kindness is not about who has more. It's about who chooses to care." Daniel looked at Ethan, who beamed with pride. Later that night, Emily squeezed Daniel's hand and said, "Funny how everything started with a loose battery cable." Daniel smiled. Funny how stopping for a stranger brought me back to the love of my life. In the end, this story isn't about money, or success, or even lost love. It's about a simple choice. To stop. To help. To be kind. Because you never know whose life you're touching, or how that one small act might circle back and change your own. So as you go about your day, remember this. Kindness costs nothing. But it can return everything. And maybe, just maybe, the world becomes a little brighter each time we choose to stop and help.